She has been a titan of stage and screen for more than 6 decades, a name that resonates with class, poise, and unforgettable performances. Dame Judi Dench. From Shakespeare to James Bond, she's captured hearts and commands respect. But now, at 90, Judi Dench is facing one of her most difficult battles, deteriorating eyesight due to macular degeneration. For years, Judi has quietly coped with vision loss. Recently, she shared heartbreaking new details. She can't go out alone anymore. Events, red carpets, even simple errands now require someone by her side, because the risk of tripping, walking into something, or falling is very real. She jokes about having no eyesight, but the truth is sobering. She struggles to read scripts, memorize lines. What used to come naturally now takes intense effort. Friends helping, repetition, patience. This isn't a story of giving up. It's about adaptation, legacy, dignity, and asking, when does age force even legends to step back? Judi Dench has not announced a full retirement, yet her latest revelations hint that parts of her career may be drawing to a close. This is the story of how one of the greatest actresses ever is saying goodbye, or at least, goodbye to some of the things she cannot do anymore. Judi Dench first revealed she had been diagnosed with age-related macular degeneration, AMD, back in 2012. It's a condition that progressively affects the central vision, making detailed tasks like reading, recognizing faces, or reading scripts progressively more difficult. Initially, she spoke about these symptoms with quiet resolve, a blur here, reading glasses there, friends helping her through. But nothing quite prepares one for the gradual loss of something as fundamental as sight. Over the years, Judi Dench has described how she adapted. She developed a routine, using a photographic memory when she could, relying on people to read scripts aloud, repeating lines with the help of friends. She would practice speeches, adjust lighting, memorize cues, not just by reading, but by feeling the movement on stage. For her, acting has always been more than reading text. It's embodiment, memory, presence. But AMD chipped away at parts of that process. By 2023, in interviews, she admitted it had become increasingly difficult. There were roles she had to decline because parts were too long, or cues required precision she could no longer depend on. She could no longer read film sets or comfortably navigate scripts without assistance. She confessed that while she's not retiring, certain kinds of performance work had become impossible in the way she used to do it. This year, her updates have grown more urgent. In her appearance on the Fearless podcast with Trini Woodall, Judi revealed she cannot attend events alone now. She says, "Somebody will always be with me," explaining that without a companion, she is at risk of tripping or walking into things. She jokes sometimes, but the fear is real. She admits, if I have any length of a part, it's difficult because she can't see enough, can't read enough. Even though she tries to adapt every day, her rise to superstardom, her remarkable memory and storytelling, her ability to command scenes, these came from years of sharp skill, discipline, and love for her art. Today, that art is being tested by a condition she cannot control. Her bravery doesn't lie in denying it. It lies in continuing, adapting, and speaking openly. Living with macular degeneration has reshaped Judi Dench's daily world. Things many of us take for granted are now complicated tasks. Going out becomes an event, making sure there's someone accompanying her. Walking on red carpets or attending premieres, things she's done for decades, pose risks she didn't have before. She's nervous. She laughs when she says she pretends to have no eyesight, but the challenges are serious. Social gatherings and public appearances are no longer spontaneous. Lighting, steps, visual cues, all have to be managed. She admits she's unsure what she'll do when she has a longer part in something. Longer screen time is more complex because memorizing lines, reading scripts, seeing co-actors and movements become harder. She's lost some of the ease with which she once worked. Even simple tasks like reading menus, seeing faces of people across a room, or navigating a stage unassisted are now more difficult. The Times of India, her career has already adjusted. Her last credited on-screen film work was in Spirited, 2022, and Alleluia. She said she doesn't have projects lined up in part because of these limitations. She hasn't stated a formal retirement, but more often than not, her eyesight, dictates what is possible. Roles requiring reading long scripts, memorization under lights, or heavy movement are harder to commit to. But Dench also shows resilience. She leans on her network, friends, co-actors, assistants, to help navigate learning lines, moving around. She uses repetition, adjusts performance styles. When possible, she chooses roles that are smaller, parts that can accommodate her condition. She's adapted not just physically, but mentally, accepting that she may not be the same actor she once was, but that legacy and presence do not vanish simply because of vision loss. She insists she doesn't want to give up or retire, at least not on her own terms. There's pain and frustration, yes, but also humor, dignity, and an unwavering spirit. Her legacy is not being paused, it's being redefined. For a life spent in the spotlight, Judi Dench has kept much of this struggle fairly private. But public reaction has been full of love, concern, admiration. Her fans, fellow actors, the press, all have responded with respect, awe, and sadness at what she's facing. Many express empathy, recognizing that a great talent is being challenged by aging, something inevitable but hard for someone used to excellence. Emotionally, Judi has spoken of humiliation, frustration, dependency, things she once did. Effortlessly, reading scripts, being on stage, cueing lines, now require help. She feels nervous before events, worried about falling, worried about mistakes. She's aware of how her declining eyesight may affect what she can deliver, how others perceive her work. She's not blind. Her condition affects her central vision, but that affects much of what acting requires. Still, Judi has shown immense dignity. She often jokes about her condition, saying pretend to have no eyesight, making light of walking into something, but the humor has an edge. It's resilience. She's 3/4 of a century in the industry, and despite her condition, she still shows up. She still values her work and her art. She makes decisions to continue where possible, even if in different ways. Critics and the public alike are wrestling with the idea that perhaps we are seeing the final chapters of her acting career. Some argue that retiring from major screen roles is no shame. Others hope she continues in voice work, reading, smaller roles, narration. There's debate about whether her condition should force her into full retirement or simply new kinds of creative work. The emotional strain also extends to family, friends. Judi says that she depends more on others for scripts, cues, safe movement, companionship. Accepting help and admitting vulnerability is difficult, especially for someone used to commanding respect and admiration. Yet many say her openness is inspiring, and she's helping raise awareness about AMD and aging gracefully. Judi Dench has never set a firm retirement date, and her latest statements, while somber, are not declarations of final farewell. She has expressed that some roles are now impossible, but also that she wants to work as much as she can. She says she has an irrational fear of boredom, and that she intends to keep going if possible, adapting, shifting, choosing roles that fit. Her legacy is already sealed, one of the greatest actresses of her generation, beloved for her regal presence, her suitability for theater and film, her humor, her humanity. But what many are recognizing now is the fragility inherent even in greatness. Aging, illness, limitations, they affect everyone. Judi's journey reminds us that behind the awards and the fame are human beings who age, adapt, struggle. For many, Judi Dench's recent news isn't just about vision loss. It's about recognizing that time changes us all. She is signaling that she may no longer take on the heavyweight roles she once did, that her screen appearances may lessen, that certain performances, grand, visually demanding, may no longer be feasible. But she's also showing another message, that one can bow out with grace, dignity, and humor. Public reactions have trended toward admiration. People say Judi is handling this with courage. Social media is full of tributes, stories of how Judi touched lives. Younger actors are citing her example, and fans are bracing themselves for fewer appearances, but also cherishing every moment she shares. In the end, whether Judi Dench formally retires or not, this chapter feels like a graceful goodbye to some parts of her craft. Perhaps not the exit she wanted, but one she didn't fear. Because even as vision fails, spirit, artistry, and legacy endure.